Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Rosalia and I am here to show you video 2, which I was not anticipating, on using your die cut flower negatives. I played some more and I came up with a few other ideas that I really would like to share with you. I made this card not for anybody but for the purpose of the video. This is how I've used my negatives. This looks so nice. Okay, the little bling bling here and there, and gave it a little dimension. As you can see, it's not just flat, gave it some dimension. So that's how I've used that. I like how it's open and airy, like and you can see the cardstock from behind. This here is a negative from the Martha Stewart Punch, this one here, and I took it and put it in the corner. It looks really nice. And another little piece that I cut from another little card, and I put it there. So those little pieces, look at it, really good, because they're very useful. Then I also use that cut, the negative, to make a tab. You see, so this is a tag, and I put a tab on it because it's just not a plain tab. It has a flower, and then you can even color it if you like, but look how nice. So I made that out of the negative. Out of the negative, I also use this as a stopper. You got the belly band, and you use it as a stopper. Nice little flower there. Okay. Again, look at the Martha Stewart negatives. Excellent for corners. Really nice. And then when you do cut something with those fancy scissors, look at it again, because they can serve as little corners, and this looks really nice. I like how that turned out. Okay. So you have flowers here. You got a tab, and you have a stopper. How you like that? So that's what I would like to share with you. Now, I didn't even know that I had to figure out this process, but I did. Now, with the die cut, you're very limited with these. You can make this a little thicker, but with this one, I managed to work with this one here. Look at all the space it has. I managed to get this one a little thicker. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So with that, I needed to find out, what do I have to measure my paper so that it can give me the max amount of space of paper from my negative. I figured it out to be 1 3/4. Take a strip of your cardstock, doesn't matter, 12 by 12, 8.5, whatever it is, and cut it to 1 3/4. And I took that and scored it at 1 3/4 all the way down. Where is my piece that I wanted to show you? Here it is. 1 3/4 all the way down, and then fan folded it. Fan folded it, okay? And I'm left with that. Actually, you're left with another little piece, but I took it off because I want them all nice, and 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 is what you end up with. Take it through your Big Shot. Now, you must position it where you have at least 1/8 of an inch from the top, from this here, this top, because I'm looking at it this way, whichever way you're looking at it. But these two sides here, 1/8 of an inch, so that your flower will be centered and your negative will have equal spacing all the way around. That's how you have to put it in. Put it through your Big Shot, and then you end up with this strip, about 6 of them. So I took, and I take like two at a time to fuzzy cut them. I take about 2 at a time. So I cut 2 of them, and then take and fuzzy cut. Now, when you fuzzy cut, the most important thing is that you have to dip in here. You have to dip into these spikes here. Dip in a little bit. So you can start anywhere and just wiggle away the paper, and you must come down to that spike. And I'll show you when I'm done here why you have to go in, because that way that will give you your petal. Without that, you can't distinguish your petals. So I'm going to come back down to that spike, and I'm going to come back up. Let me work it, and then I'll show you what I get. Let me work this really quick here, and it could be really crazy because I don't even follow the pattern of the petal itself. I come all the way up if I want, Okay, so it doesn't have to be no particular way, but you got to dip into those spikes. Okay, so I'm at that end here. Okay. And look what you get. Let me get these others. Here you go. I've done this video, I don't know how many times. But look at that. Even this spike over here, look at that. How nice. Look how irregular. Totally irregular. So if you put another one, another piece on top, and when you match those spikes, look for the match, and even if you match them and they are equal, they are the same in the center, the petal and everything in the center are exact, look at the outside. And that's what you get. I think I have one that I made here. Yeah, here goes one that you can see. I try to use these colors that you can see. It's perfectly matched in the center, but look at the edges. Just beautiful. And then you can you know you can add more and offset it if you like, but it looks really nice. And what I did with these flowers, because they are flat, but I gave it some dimension by using this tool. I don't know what it's called, but there's 3 in a package. I got them from Joann's for, it was $10 and I had a 50% discount. I used the medium one, and what this does, it gives you that curl. So if I take this one, let me get this one here that I just did. So you just go around your petal, okay? You can see that. And look at that curve. Look at that curve you get all the way around. And it just gives you some nice dimension, so it doesn't have to be flat. My goodness, look at all that dimension. Let me see. Look at all that dimension. And you fix your flower the way you like it. Okay, so that's what I like about it. It's thicker. You can go crazy with the wiggles on the outside, and then give it some dimension. So that's what I wanted to add. Then I wanted to add another thing here. I took and I had gotten some of these cards from my Home Depot, Lowe's. These are those paint swatches. This is a Glidden or whatever, right? And I've used them in my scrapbooking. I made tags out of these. I took it through the dry embossing. Look at that. I just cut off the names or whatever number they might have, or the name of the paint. I cut it off, and then I managed to get like a set so that they all get cut the same. So I cut them all the same, and look how nice. Dry embossing turns out really beautiful. And I use these as tags. I don't know if I've used them for other things, but I've used them as tags. And what I've done is I've taken, let me see if I can just show you quickly on this album where I used it, if I have it in here. I've taken, oh darn it, okay, I don't have it. What I've done is take a light cardstock, put it in the back, glued it in the back so that you don't see this, of course, and inked it up, and it looks really nice. So I just want you to know that if you're interested, go by those department stores and get them, and they're free and you can use them. I hope they're not, this latex free thing, but whatever. That's another thing I wanted to share with you, because this yellow flower here, that's what I used, that card. Another thing I wanted to show you was that as I was cutting a flower, this piece came off of this flower. Okay, so you have this green flower. This is a piece of it, and I used it here for leaves. So if you take it, let's say you just want some leaves, you can just go ahead and cut this flower if you have the die cut, and then cut a piece off just like that. Just cut it straight across, and or whichever leaf that you like, and then you fit it in. You fit it into your flower, and that's what I got out of that same flower. And that's Again, these were they just happened to have cut that way. I was trying to get one of the flowers, and that one was in the way, so that's what I got. So from the paint swatches, I got these out. I don't know how I'm going to use them, but they look useful. I'll see how I'll use those, see how they come out. And I think that's all I had for you. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and that it inspires you to use your negatives and start thinking of different ways of using them, because I don't know, how I'm going to use these, but when you're working, things come up and things happen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was useful. Oops. Negatives. Put it like in the corner of something. That's a corner. There you go. That's a negative. So anyway, have a good night. I hope I don't have to do this video again. And see you another time. Bye.